Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. That you are doing amazing. Well, feeling calm. I was trying to help you. Don't get feisty. Um, feisty. Anyways, I hope that you are doing phenomenal. Well, Ruhi, not there, please. Um, my name is Latice. I do readings on here as well as you can book readings with me down below. I'll be throwing up a flash sale soon just because. But let's go ahead and get into this reading um, and get this started here. Ruhi, I gotta get my cards. Go up, go up. Good boy. Thank you. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for you. Don't and see what's going on and see what they have set up. I think I'm gonna use the first deck I've ever created. Um, so let me go ahead and pull that out. You just really want to come this way really bad, don't you? Thank you. All right, let's see the spirit. I've been feeling really just bare lately, just not wanting to have anything on me. Very high sensory feeling, a sense. Somewhat yesterday, I felt kind of purging energy, and then just even yesterday, just a lot today, just feeling very sensitive to the energies around me. Just I'm a sensory type person, like textures, feelings, all that stuff, um, and just haven't been really feeling like putting on like jewelry, and I don't feel like anything extra necessarily on my body. Like I only have this and these, um, but I just have not been feeling much. I don't really want much on my vessel, essentially much on my body. Um, I just really want to just almost like feel my skin. And even with the way that I've been moving, even today we taking like half of a silent day. 222 as I say that where I just don't say anything, don't really respond to messages, just really don't speak at all, if anything, and just kind of resting and allowing my brain and body to sit in that silence. And I feel like my body, with it not having anything on there, it's also a way of it kind of sitting in this silence, sitting in this rawness and this newness. So that can be a sign for someone where you're just possibly feeling like overly sensitive or things of that sort. I even was thinking today about getting tested or something that runs in my family. I'm like, maybe I should get tested for that because I'm kind of noticing some signs. So even just getting more in tune and in touch with your body, um, and its new factors. And I feel like the ground is sprouting for you, right? And when you start planting things and things start blossoming, right? Because even at that stage, you have to, thank you. Because even at that stage, when you planted the seeds, you have to make sure the birds don't come and eat the seeds from out of the ground. So I feel like for a long time, I feel like you just have a new way of protecting yourself. So I'm not really a fan of the new levels, new devils. I don't know, something about that. Just I don't know the energy of it. I don't know. That's just my own keepsake and thoughts, I say. But it's like you have to worry about the birds. But even once the fruits and things starts bearing, you have to worry about possibly birds and now caterpillars and this. So it's like it can be added on things. But since you're familiar with your garden, so gardening can be very significant. I'm not a gardener, but they're giving me all this information. So gardening can be very significant where um, you are going with the flow of nature and allowing some things. It's like, you know what, here goes your patch because I know the ones that work with you and this and this. So obviously, so you're learning how to um, new growth, new alignment. I guess is what I want to say because with the growth, you still are, dealing with certain things, but it's allowing growth now. Now the seeds are blossoming. Now it's bearing fruit or vegetables. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening with your body. It's like you planted seeds a while ago of maybe negative self talk, and now you're in a mode where you don't even have self-deprecating jokes anymore. And so now you're getting accustomed to setting possibly new boundaries with people, like, hey, I don't joke like that anymore. Or just in ways with yourself, like, I don't feel like wearing this because of this, and there's nothing wrong with this, there's nothing wrong with my body, I just don't feel comfortable in this. It's a new way of looking at it, and now you're noticing the season of blossoming, and now you're figuring out new ways to keep that peace, to keep that joy. You could have been like, you know what, I'm going to start going out every now and again. If somebody invites me to something, I might just say yes. And so that has turned into now you inviting people to things and setting things up. And so now you're having to structure it in a whole new way. And so I feel like with your new body in this instance, I knew I should have left that door open. With your new body in this instance, you are recognizing new ways that it wants to operate, new feelings it wants to maneuver into. Like, I wanted gauges for the longest time. So inner child can be very significant. This also has more from earlier, I say. Um, but I wanted gauges for a long time. And you can still wear dangly stuff, of course. If you have gauges, you just put it in there. But now with just the way just sometimes it feels on my face and on my body, in the way that it kind of irritates my ears, it's like I think gauges would be really great. Or I love clip-on earrings. Going back to clip-on earrings, so it's learning how to adorn myself in a new way, to work with what is currently growing and prospering in my life because of what I have worked on. And so I feel like that's currently what's happening with you. So you could be feeling, like I said, feelings of purging. You can be feeling overly sensitive, like clothes that used to be your comfort clothes, they just feel weird on your body. Places or even the way that you used to sit doesn't feel comfortable anymore because maybe you've been working on it's just you're feeling your spirit grow. And so your body, you're going through, what do they call it? A growth spurt. Thank you, spirit. But you're going through that spiritually and physically, um, and allowing that to be the essence of how you move. The first card that was flipped over inside of the deck was be a sexual being and push the bounds of the layman's term. And I made this card as a means of tapping into that sacral chakra energy, that sensual energy, that in touch with yourself energy, knowing how to express self and experience pleasure. How did you come this way but didn't come this way? Which means you went down and walked back up. You're weird. Um, and allowing yourself to experience these things and go through this and acknowledge those settings. So with that coming into fourth, like I said, it's allowing that to happen. Sorry, I'm motherfucking distracted because that was just you went that way, but then you're also going this way again. But you didn't come back this way to go this way. Anyways, that can be a sign. Somebody making some weird moves, maneuvers, because the fact that that's sticking out, this people walk past there all the time. That was just odd. Um, and flies have been very prevalent today. But it's this energy with the push layman's terms in sacral chakra of recognizing your pleasure points, recognizing your abundance points, recognizing your comfort and discomfort. Because I don't garden, but I like watching people garden. They say after a while, you realize if you really truly want to grow, you're going to have to, not necessarily spray your stuff with pesticide, because he was talking about how when he first started, he got pesticide, but then that was also affecting, like, if I'm spraying this on the plants, I'm also going to be adjusting this. I don't want that. Just get rid of nature. And so he was like, I figured that if I plant this brings these type of bugs. And these type of bugs eat those bugs. And so that is still nature. It's protecting me, and I don't need to spray with pesticide because nature already has its own natural pesticide. That's why I said I didn't like the new new devils, because your garden is still growing. Seeing animals and livelihood is really good because it's almost like I forgot what movie it is, but it's like in those parts of movies where somebody feels like they're alone, like there's no life out here or nothing has grown and they're in like an abandoned building, but then they see like mice, roaches, and all this stuff, and it's like if they have lived here and they have family here, which means there's life here, this means there's substance here, which means there's some type of growth, some type of water. And so you're learning how to recognize. I can look at it in this way of like, let me go get some pesticide and possibly also ingest that pesticide and try to protect my plant, or I can plant something else that brings in something else that's natural to control this. And so you're moving with your body in that way. I hope this is making sense because it's making sense to me. I shake. And so you're recognizing those things that work for you. Like I said, you want me like, maybe I should get tested because I'm noticing some things. And it's recognizing the way that your body has been operating. It's like going to therapy and recognizing, hmm, you're noticing new things and you're noticing how to work with them, balance them out, structure in a new way, but not kill self, not harm self, not shame self. It is pushing the bounds and layman's terms of what it means to be a sexual being, to be a person that is able to experience joy, pleasure, um, and sensuality in these ways. They haven't been pulled from the bottom, hilariously enough. Tap into the water. I cannot make this up. Tap into that water. Says sexual freedom, nurture all elements, intuitive, depth, shadow work, going with the flow, hydrate self, diving deeper, sensual energy, expressional freedom. Okay? Being near water, around water. I was even looking at like kind of the like my last day, and just looking at how the way that my divots and cellulite kind of just forms, it looks like the ripples of the ocean. And I said, damn, this is sexy as fuck. And so it's even the way that you're looking at yourself, like I said, your body and how you're looking at it, like, damn, this, I look good, I feel good. And even just looking at ways in your environment, I feel like you've been possibly dealing a lot with your physical appearance, because this is kind of giving physical appearance, and sometimes that isn't talked about a lot in the spiritual community. So, trying to work something, baby. If I don't feel good in my vessel, my spirit is not going to feel, safe enough to possibly move. So like that's why I said the inner child. So those things can be very significant, and water is allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to be you. It is literally about your essentially, it's hard to tap into your sensuality if you don't know what gives you pleasure. It's tapping into those pleasure points again. Thank you. So when you're tapping into that freedom, that depth, that intuitiveness, it allows you to push the means of what that is. Like, look at what I got on. You can see it. This is something I wear, my nice little mini skirt, nice little top, my nice little. I love things like this. I wear this outside. I might toss on some heels and go outside and wear this. I have worn this outside before. So it's pushing it. And then beforehand, I would have been like, let me this is kind of, we all out here. We all out here. What is like, what does that even mean? And so, just kind of pushing it. It's like, I shouldn't be wearing this. I shouldn't be, and it's changing the way. And so, with that, allowing yourself to grow in those things, like I said, changing your self talk, changing what you wear, changing how you do things, is changing the way that you operate in your own vessel, in your own body, right? And you're tapping into what truly gives me pleasure. Ooh, Ashe. What truly makes me feel good, what truly makes me look good. It reminds me when I went to the dispensary. And like I said, I love to dress up. I love when, my adornment. I love it. I love just looking good because I get to catch myself. And I was at the dispensary and I look good. She was like, you look good. I was like, thank you. She's like, so you got any plans, special plans today? And something about that also that I'm going to bring that back up full circle moment. But I was like, nope, just running errands. And I literally was running errands. I was like, just running errands. That's it. I'm just literally, I have to go shopping, I have to go pick up some things, I have to go do it, like literally running errands. And I was like, yeah, nope, just running errands. She was like, dang, I want to see what you look like when you go out. I was like, I just love looking at myself, being able to walk past myself and possibly see myself. And I know I look good and I feel good. It's for me. And it's also reminded me of a video I posted, not posted, excuse me, when I was talking to my family a while back. And I was just like showing them, like, hey, I just got dressed up today. Make sure you get dressed up for you today. Make sure you feel good for you today. Because if you're only getting dressed up cute because you're going out and not because for yourself, if you're sitting in your house, You're missing the point of being in love with you, being in like with you, knowing yourself. I'm not saying you gotta, dressing up is however you feel dressing up is adorning yourself, loving yourself, showing yourself by what you put on, what you wear. And that's why I said texture, certain things can feel weird now. Like I said, I didn't feel like putting on any all the extra Jordans that it feels a little bit too much right now. And so you're learning about that. Because we also have I am powerful right now in all ways, always. And that is you stepping into your power. That is you stepping into that knowing. That is you stepping into that truth. And I don't even want to say stepping into, living in that truth, living in that power, living in who you are. And you're recognizing as you're continuously growing, right? Some people may get up close. Some people don't like, I'm one of those people. Planting gardening, because sometimes you do have to deal with the spiders, the bugs, and I'm just, I get whoop. Some people like, oh, like they're able to not only see it in a way of like my garden is thriving, but also in a way of like just dealing with the bugs, the roly polies, me. I'm just like, nope. You know what? Fuck that cabbage. But you're able to see. Some people just see the fruit, but they don't see the life that is helping to keep that fruit alive. They're just able to see you walk out with confidence. They're not seeing the pep talk that you possibly gave yourself earlier. They're just able to see you put that shit on, but they're not seeing that you changed your outfit 5 times. And there's nothing wrong with what I'm saying about before, but it's like they don't know what went into bearing the fruit that they're able to witness. They're just seeing what's grown. They're just seeing what's flourishing. They're just seeing what's being fed. They're just seeing what's being watered. They're just seeing those things. And that's where that tapping into that shadow work, the intuition, that depth, those truth, those taboos, those thoughts. I could have sworn I turned this off. And so now you're moving in a way of like, I'm powerful. Not because of the end result of the power, but the continuation of that growth into that power. And so you're stepping into that. You are really stepping into what it means to be in love. It's almost like when people are on a pole, right? They immediately go sexual. Even with strippers. Okay, it's just like strippers don't fuck. Not all strippers fuck, even if they do fuck. You know that, right? Like you do. That's why people getting delusional. Like, bitch, I don't like you. I don't want you. I'm working, bitch. Because I do not play with my sex workers. I do not play with my spicy. I do not. Because bitch, what? Anyway, so that can be very significant. You also could be in that industry as well, where you're like, bitch, it's my body, it's my energy, and the way that you're looking at me and thinking about that is your own perspective. Because even going back to the poll, or even when I used to post videos of me dancing, my insecure ass ex would be like, yeah, I don't want people looking at you that way. I was like, that's because that's how you're thinking about it. I'm dancing because I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. And the only people that are going to see it are the people that are my family and friends. Because I'm not dancing. And if it is any type of way, I send those to you personally. But since you're looking at me in a sexual way, you think everything I'm doing sexual is the same way that people think, oh, you came out the house like that. It's like, I'm not doing it in that way. You don't know what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. And so you're noticing that that's also where your power lies, is in your truth of why you're doing it, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. Because recognizing people are going to look at it any way that they want to. Any way that they want to. And it's just a matter. And so now you're feeding yourself, you're hygienining yourself, you're allowing yourself to feel those things. You're recognizing that that's where my power lies. That's where the truth and understanding lies. is that people are going to look at me and think what they want to think, say what they want to say, feel what they want to feel, all these things because of their own perceptions, their own experiences, their own ideas, all that. But why am I really doing it? They don't know why I'm planting cabbage. It can be for kimchi, it can be for some fried cabbage, it can be for the community garden, and I'm not gonna eat it at all. I could be planting it for rabbits that you got. They don't know. Cabbage can be very significant as well for some. But it's this energy of where you are pushing the terms of what it means to be sensual, sexual, to experience pleasure, to be pleasure, to adorn self, to love your body, to love your work, to see it in a different way that isn't shameful or demeaning, to trust your intuition of when to move, how to move, knowing when something is uncomfortable because you're pushing out of the dirt, and when something is uncomfortable because something is trying to uproot you, and not in a good way. Go have fun and allow your life to be lived. Going back to that pleasure. Go have fun and allow your life to be lived. Life is, I always like to say, bills gotta be paid. So go live anyway. They gotta be paid either way. You know what time of day it is. You know you gotta take care of your teeth and stuff or things. So you might as well eat this snack, just brush your teeth afterwards. You get what I'm saying? So certain things, it's like, don't restrict yourself when people think that eating healthy means no seasoning. Those are just ground up herbs. You can take the shell, like the actual shell of an onion, dry it out, ground it up. That's onion powder. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things where people are trying to, no, this, there's extra calories. If you don't have calories, how is your body going to feed itself, feed the muscles, hydrated? So it's certain things of the way that you're like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta send it. It's like, how are you thinking about it? And even when I was talking with my sister, I was like, for forever. That's why I'm just saying I'm really care for gyms. I like dancing and moving away because I can dance for hours, but in the gym, I'm like, I don't know, it's just this energy around gyms. It's growing up. It was gym class. That's something I'm working, but I also don't really care for gyms. The smell, the loudness, even if I got in headphones, it's just sensory. Sensory energies in the way that I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. And then just the cleanliness. OCD, go crazy. Anyways, back moving forward, moving on. It's this energy where I'm just like, but I still move. I still allow myself to go. And so you're pushing yourself in that way of that, and allowing your life to be lived in a way that is fruitful for you, is abundant for you. You're looking at it in a way like, why am I doing this? Why am I setting this up? So for me, it was like, people are like, what's your goal weight? I don't have a goal weight. I have a goal look. I have a goal feeling. Because people look at people and assume that they're healthy and up in tip top shape, but they're not. You think people are sane because of this, but they're not. You think people are set up on a set. And so it's like, you're starting to realize, it's almost like when you grow up and you realize, like, a lot of these people in my family are fucking us. They didn't know what they were doing. How were they the adults? How do we even survive? And it's like this meaning of what it looks like is not necessarily what it is. And so that's why you're looking at yourself that way. You're recognizing, this is the body that holds me when I'm feeling pain. This is the body that jumps up and down in a concert and feels pleasure. This is my spirit, invoking the presence of my vessel and living out. We have tap into that fire, pull into the sun energy, release, push your passions, focus, shine your light, be bold, burn. Oh, wait, this is hilarious. This is the only, I think I only made 2 cards, or maybe just 1 card. Well, I was going to like color over all of them, and I just got colored decks, but I want you to be more vocal about that and how you feel. Tapping into now exhibiting that, now invoking that. Tapping into that leader energy of your life, that captivating energy like fire. I remember in trigger warning, well, growing up, especially as a woman, okay, as a little girl into a woman, excuse me, You get taught a lot of things about how to walk, this, that, all this stuff. And I remember mom was like, if anything's happening, somebody trying to take you or anything, don't scream help. Because nobody's going to come. Nobody wants to be the person that possibly witnesses rape, that possibly witnesses abuse, that possibly, she's like, just trust me. Don't say help, say fire. Say, oh my God, there's a fire. People love to possibly be the hero for a fire. All they got to do is call 911 and say that there's a fire. And a lot more people will come because it's a fire. It's like when people slow down and they see a car accident. People are okay with seeing the wreck afterwards. Or things of that sort. You get what I'm saying? But if they see somebody possibly lighting something, they might not say anything because it's like they don't want to be involved. They see somebody do something, it's like, now I gotta step in. The bystander effect goes up. And so she was like, scream fire. And so I feel like that's what's going on, especially with it being a cross of go have fun and live your life. It's like people notice the fire. People notice the sun when it's reflecting out the road a little too hard. People notice the light, the energy, the heat. People notice that flame, that burning. And so do y'all hear that? So with you no longer dimming your energy, if you noticing it too, I don't know what the fuck that is. I hear it, I just don't see it. So with that realization, she was like, do that. People come for that. People want to see that. And it sounds like it's sorry to tie to that. My brain is association. It's crazy. It's this energy where your life is not a spectacle. It's the truth. It's setting it ablaze. So you're burning up old things. You're burning up old ways. And people noticing that. You're living in your truth. You're living in your expression. You're living in your freedom. You're living in those things. And it's changing the way that you feel. It's almost that new skin. It's very raw. But it's yours. And you're recognizing that I can make my environment accustomed to that versus trying to make my body accustomed to that. I'm not going to mask anymore. I'm not going to hide self anymore. I'm not going to deny myself of things anymore. I'm not going to not be vocal anymore. I'm going to have to live. Because that is where my power lies. That is where my truth lies. That is where my energy lies. So you're pushing what it means. Because people are going to look at you either way it goes. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see if there's any final cards for you guys. Cards of the collective. We have educated beyond your intelligence. Time to make a proper plan. Says, my dreams provide me with answers. Allows the true freedom of the mind. I feel like you have a vision for what you want, but you haven't started planning it, essentially, or at least making steps to accomplish it. You just see the vision, you know the end goal, you know the end feeling, you know the end result, but now it's time to start putting that into motion. And your dreams are providing you with answers. It can be when you're actually sleeping, it could be when you're meditating, it could be just getting a download, channel vision, any of those things set up in that sentence. And that energy. So they're providing what answers. It's allowing your freedom of your mind. And I think it's going to help you, especially with coming in with this water and fire energy. The next step would be your heart, your air energy, and really accepting that energy to come in. We have time to stop playing yourself. You aren't fooling anyone. Yeah, your light is seen. Your, your energy is seen. It's kind of like when I said I was just at the dispensary and I was just like, it was like, what you getting dressed up for? And I get that a lot. And I'm literally always running errands, but it's just like, I like looking and feeling good, smelling good. It's just me, no matter what it is. So it's time to stop playing yourself. You aren't fooling anyone. And when you mask in some sort of way, you don't mask that well. It's starting to crack, starting to show. Um, when you are drawn to certain clothes, I'm hearing that you want to wear, and you almost like talk yourself out of it because I'm hearing, oh, I'm a mom, I can't wear that, or I'm this age, I can't wear that, or I'm a man, I can't wear that. We're queer on this channel, baby. So everybody can buy. Grow up. I say. But you're not limiting yourself. You're not playing yourself anymore because you're realizing the world is not going to bend to my will unless I make it, unless I stand in my own will and my own energy. So with this coming in, you are setting that up. We have excuses only satisfy the people making them. You are quite stagnant, and that's on top of this. Yeah, this feels like a energy where you want to like go somewhere or revamp your wardrobe, or I'm hearing like put yourself out. I'm seeing like somebody at a comedy show, like on stage, like really putting yourself out there. You really want something, but it's like I said, where you're like going to pick out those clothes and you're making excuses. Well, now you're uncomfortable in the clothes that you got. You don't feel like yourself in the clothes that you got. Or you're in an environment and you're like, dang, I can't wear a lot of it. Just you have to go where your energy feels welcome and safe because right now you're uncomfortable, not in a way that's allowing you to grow. Okay? It says, have you been feeding yourself? They really want you to go out and have fun and feed that pleasure, feed that joy, feed that abundance that you are so very deserving of. They really want you to go out and have that. And I think that'll also expand your ideas and your mindset as well of what you're capable of. But I feel like you're in this it's like when you first start a game and they have you create your character. I feel like you're starting over again. Yeah, visions coming in, time to tap in, meditate with me. They really want you to get in that. And meditation, I always say, is so different. Me, I meditate when I listen to music and I sing. I'm able to meditate when I'm drawing. I'm able to meditate when I'm dancing. Meditating is having a conversation with self that is truthful, that is honest, that allows your body to have that thought, see that thought, experience that thought, and let it go. And not holding on to it. If you cannot sit there and go, or just sit there. That's fine. Some people are like, I gotta get out of nature if I really want to sit down. Sometimes getting out of nature is the meditation. 3, 3, 1, 3, as I said there. There's nothing new under the sun but how it's done. And we're going off of one way of doing something, of getting an experience, being able to grow. That leads into, again, we're not doing that. We're tapping into pushing the bounds of that layman's term, tapping into that water. And what it means to truly be expansive and in your energy. Okay? So that has been your reading, my darlings, my loves. I love you. Love yourself so much more. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time.